What's up? What is going on? Welcome to another episode of Hey Mark, the podcast where I, Mark, get to have open and authentic conversations about things like mental health and self-development. The reason I started this podcast is just to try and alleviate some of the suffering that's happening out there in silence, try and help some of the people that maybe don't know, how to put the words to what they're feeling, who to talk to, or really just like express what they're going through, or the person that just has to listen to something and just think, damn, man, I'm not alone. Life can and will get better. I just have to keep grinding, keep pushing, whatever it is. Like, we're just trying to give different perspectives. Today, I finally got Josh on the podcast. This is someone that I linked up with quite a while back on social media. Been repping his brand now here. We're the first person to rep it in Canada. So, Josh, why don't you tell people like a little bit about yourself? Like, tell people where they can find you as well. And just like kind of what you've been up to recently, man.
All right, my man. So I just want to say first and foremost, thanks for having me, Mark. I appreciate you having me on your podcast this morning and getting up early and getting the morning coffee. So cheers to that, brother. So, but again, man, my name is Josh Asuncion. I'm just out of Hawaii, Oahu. I linked up, and that's the beauty of social media is that me and Mark, we've never met in person, but we just bonded and we created some rapport through social media. And we're just really, really good homies now. And I feel like this guy's my brother, my really good friend, and we vibe like that. So again, just thank you for having me on. About myself, man, I'm just a young entrepreneur. I got 2 kids. My wife stays at home, watches the kids. So at the end of the day, the pressure is on. You got to make it. And I feel like, sometimes in life you need that pressure. You need it. And but as far as that, like how you were saying, one of my avenues is my brand. LVYD, it is Live Your Dreams. Live Your Dreams. That's actually something that I thought about in 2014, brother, to be honest. I thought about this for a long time. But you know how you always say, tomorrow. For the longest time, I put it off. And I would say I would do it. I never got around to it. 2020, 21 came on. I was like, you know what? Can't stop. I can't, you get to a point where if it's always on your mind, you got to do it. If you're always thinking about it, you got to do it. And in most times people don't pull the trigger because either 1, they're afraid, 2, they don't know where to start, 3, they're just overwhelmed with information on social media and on the internet that they get information overload and then they just, forget it. Right. So there's many different variables why I didn't do it. But 2022, 2021, I started my brand, and obviously you're the first one in Canada to rock it, which is so sick, by the way. I appreciate that, brother. But yeah, you can find it. Right now, my social handle is Yo, that's Josh, which is YOO. That's Josh, all one word. Real easy. And then from there, you can see my apparel on my page as well with the link on my page. So video right now is only Instagram. See, I launched the brand. I didn't even have the website up. I didn't have like a business page up. I didn't have no Facebook ads up. I didn't have no Google ads up. I just launched. And a lot of the stuff that you do, you figure out as you go, right? So like I'm sure like when you first started your podcast, if you can agree, you didn't know all the ins and outs, right? You didn't know it, right? So
bro, I legit just got my first like actual mic for Christmas this year, and I've been doing this for 2 years.
Like, so dope. So right, exactly. So just for the viewers out there, for 1, to recap this real quick, is that if you're thinking about it, do it. 2, please, you don't need to know everything before you start. Just start. You'll figure it out as you go. I promise you. You're going to be forced to figure it out as you go. So yeah, man, but I hope that answers your question, brother.
No, dude, 100%. And that's like literally because I've been thinking about, and this ties into the conversation that we just had, like just like before we started recording, but like recently I've been kind of like journaling quite a bit more, and obviously like coming up with different content ideas as well. And it being the beginning of the year, like the first couple of weeks of January right now, I've been thinking about like, okay, I kind of have my own goal. I have my own vision. I have my own kind of like ideas of what I want to accomplish. Like, it's just breaking down to like, how do I fucking start doing this right now? And like, that's kind of been the kind of the motivation behind the content I've been thinking about recently as well. I'm thinking about like, how do we get to a point where we feel like we're using our time well? Because every time in December, I'm like, fuck, man, I don't know if this year went exactly like I wanted to go, or I didn't know if I achieved everything I wanted to achieve. So like, when did you start your brand, and when were you thinking like, okay, like did you have like a timeline of like, okay, I have to get this done by this time? Or like, how did you deal with the time management in the beginning?
um, well, I honestly, like I said, I didn't have any timeline. I didn't have any like business plan. You know, and some people get that set up before they go, especially if they're doing it on a larger scale and whatnot. But I just launched, to be honest, brother. I was like, you know what? I got the machine. I ordered the machine, um, and I just started cutting. I got the heat press. I started making my own things. I wish I still had the first shirt that I ever made. Like if I look back at it, when I first did it, I was so stoked. I was like so awesome. But I look back on it, I was like, oh, it doesn't look the greatest at all, you know. But when I did it, I was like pumped, right? So as far as like I didn't have anything set up, to be honest. I still don't have a website. Like I'm running it all through just social right now, either through Facebook, through Instagram, through close network of marketing, word, you know, word of mouth. Um, and then as far as like how to like the time management, being that I got my two little kids, like I can't do it during the day. I can do some stuff, but I can't make the shirts because the heat press when you so what happens is it's like, let's say this is a vinyl sheet, right? So let's imagine like your shirt. Your shirt's white, right? So let's imagine this is a white sheet, right? I have this machine over my right shoulder, which I plug my design into my computer. It literally cuts it. I take the negative off, and then I put this on the heat press. The positive, which is your LVYD, push the heat press down, usually like, you know, 15, 20 seconds. But that heat press is about anywhere from 300 to 350 degrees. So I can't do the heat press during the day at home. I don't really have a designated area to do it. So I'll wait to either early morning or late at night, and I'll start rocking. Like I'll start pressing. You know, so I try to plan it where I'll have like cut days where I'm cutting the vinyl, and then I'll have press days. Then I'll let my other half know that, hey, I have a press night coming up. You know, maybe get the kids to bed, and then when you get to bed, I'll start pressing. I'll burn the midnight hour, and then tomorrow morning maybe let me sleep in a little bit because I was up all night pressing shirts. You know, so having that, being that I have kids and then I have the supportive other half that does help me out like that, it does make it a lot easier. Where she does a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, so it makes it look like, you know, I'm doing it all on my own. Which I mean, I don't want to say that, but she does help me out when it comes to that part. When all right, when do you do the press, Josh? Well, she takes the kids, takes them upstairs, and then now I can work. You know, so yeah, that's probably it. But 2014 was that's what the on your the MMX1V, that's actually 2014 in Roman numerals. Yeah, so Roman numerals, I put that right there just to make it a little bit fancy. But 2014 was the idea was created, and yeah, the rest has just been history, brother.
Dude, that's so dope. I actually I've tried to launch a couple clothing brands as well, man, but I feel like I took the same route as every other guy like typically tends to take, where it's like you try and do like the drop shipping or try and get printed somewhere else. But what I like is that you do it all in-house. Like there's so many like
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote
Mm-hmm.
easier or cheaper ways to do it. And you're like, bro, I'm investing in the machine. I'm gonna do this in-house. You know, especially with having kids, it's like easy to make the excuses and be like, yo, I'm gonna get someone else to do this. Like I can do this cheaper, easier, or whatever, like, you know, but it's like you actually have your dream and you're like, dude, I'm gonna fucking start making my own designs, cutting my own designs, start printing it how I want it, not have to worry about like someone else, you know, maybe jacking up their price or whatever, you know, like a lot of the time, even especially with like this year with restrictions, maybe having to deal with someone else would have been like so difficult, but just doing it all in house, I feel like makes that way, you know, in a sense easier, but then also it's just, I guess you have more control of it or
Correct. Correct. Yeah, I really do. I do like having the flexibility of not having to really have. I mean, I have a middleman when I work with the warehouses to get the shirts because everything's made to order. I don't keep any stock on hand because I don't have the room, and I have kids at home. If I keep stock on hand, they're sure as hell gonna get into it somehow. So I hardly keep any stock on hand. So everything's made to order. You know, everything's handmade. So you truly get that custom handmade, you know, one of a kind type shirt. You know, and allowing me have the machine here, like you said, there's no middleman. I'm not waiting. I'm not having to order in bulk. You know, so that cuts out a lot of the cost and a lot of time. But it does, you know, it's like when I do get the orders, okay, now I got to make them and whatnot. So it does take a couple of days. But yeah, man, the investment 100% was worth it.
That's dope, man. And did you have like when you first started, because obviously like how long have you and your girl been together, if you don't mind me asking?
We've no, you're fine, brother. We've known each other. We're good friends since like I was maybe 16, she was 14. And so we've been good friends pretty much our whole life. And now we're going on. So this past New Year's was our ninth New Year's together, right?
Damn, dude, congrats.
Thank you,
That's
thank
wicked,
you.
man.
Thank you. Actually, our 10-year anniversary is coming up this month. Oh, wow. Yeah,
Damn,
I
dude, congrats, man.
can't
That's
forget that.
awesome.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, so it's been a long ride. It's been a long ride, but it feels like it went like that. But yeah, it's that's pretty stoked to say it and hear it. Pretty excited.
So she's been along the journey the entire time that you've like kind of been running this
Entire
brand.
time. Yeah, entire time, brother. For all my endeavors and everything that I've got my hands into, she's been there and just kind of been behind the scenes. She'll help me out here and there and whatnot. But yeah, man, she's a lot of the reason of why I'm able to do what I do.
Did you have like any moments before you started like your brand where you were like maybe like kind of nervous to tell her like, hey, I have this idea that I want to fucking pursue? Did you, or were you just like instantly like, yo, I've got to get the word out and we got to do this? Like, did you have like a moment of hesitation where you're like, I don't know if I can do this?
I mean, I think that's natural with anybody. It's innate, built in within you that you have these doubts sometimes. And you have these like, should I do this? Can I do this? Is it a smart move? Obviously, I talked to her about it and I told her the idea. I showed her what I had in my head, and she was just like, run with it. But I'll be honest, I bought the machine without maybe her knowing so much that when it came in, she was like, what is this? I was like, trust me. Okay. Just trust me, please. I'll set it up and I'll show you what we can do. This is going to be one of our businesses. Just like, all right. And then once I set it up and once it got going, she saw the power in what we had right here that we could just create versus having to have these middlemen of, okay, there's my printer, there's my designer, there's my manufacturer. Now it's like literally all in-house.
That's wicked, man. Dude, one time I surprised my parents, dude. I just bought a cat and came home with it, but I feel like that's a little different, dude. That's so sick, dude. And
Yeah.
she's just like, dude, run with it. I love that, man. That's so sick that
Yeah.
she's so supportive, bro.
Dude, I'm so stoked, so blessed. It's work. Having this relationship and any relationship is going to be work, especially when you get to the later years of going on 10 years. We've known each other literally since like Nokia days. Snake, Nokia, flip phones.
Hell yeah.
Those days. Yes, right. So before a smartphone was ever really there, we had those ones, sidekicks. Familiar with
Hell yeah.
sidekicks,
Is that the
right?
slide one? The slide up the
Yeah,
text
that
or
side
whatever?
up one,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
when the screen would flip up and you'd have the text right here. I'd
Yeah,
be
yeah.
texting her with my sidekick in high school, and when we were like just best friends and whatnot. So, it was a long time coming. It was crazy. It was really really crazy how it came about, but I'm stoked for it.
That's wicked, man. That's wicked. And then you're also coaching, like, because I see you're doing like a lot of fitness coaching as well with the little
Hmm.
guys. You're doing football
Yeah,
training as well.
I am, dude. Thank you for bringing it up. That's been another avenue that I've started, and I've played football my whole life. I played football high school, Pop Warner. I played football since I was my baby days. So Pop Warner, high school, played college. I even played minor league pro. I stopped playing football back in 2015 because of a heel injury. So I was kind of sidelined due to medical. So I hung my cleats up, had my kids. My son's 6 now, so I've been coaching him for the last maybe year, maybe 8 months, last 8 months. His flag football seasons are only like his flag football seasons, they're 7 weeks on, 8 weeks on, and then they take a month off. So he actually starts up flag football again on January 23rd. He's 6 years old. But I started coaching, right? And I really like, I don't know, I'm really energetic. I'm really, like when I'm on the field and you can feel the passion just flowing. It's weird. Like, I watch my videos of parents are recording. I watch other coaches out there and they're just out there and they're like, all right, okay, go here. Good job. You go there. Me, I got a whistle. I'm loud. I make sure my kids are set. They know how to line up. They know fingertips apart. If you're touching somebody, move out. My kids are like boom, boom, boom. So as last season, the last couple of seasons, they only practice 1 day a week, or they only have games 1 day a week, and the practice is 30 minutes prior to the game. So really, it's hard to really install any type of play in this league and whatnot, right? So me, with the free time at least I have now, I was like, parents, I'm gonna hold a optional practice on Thursday, free of charge, does not cost anything. I'm providing value. All last year, I was doing these practices Thursdays at 5 p.m. at the park across the street. Parents would come from all over the island, bring their kids, and they just kept bringing them repetitively. Free practice. Come Sundays, we smash, brother. Like, it's to a point where I'm like, oh, kids, like, let them score. Let them score. Like, let the other team score. Like, my kids are just animals. They're putting flags left and right. I'm making my kids have to back up off the line of scrimmage. Like, hey, back up 5 steps, back up. Give the other team at least a chance to run the ball, you know? And they're at an age now where they're not really passing, because at 5, 6, they're at that age, you really need to pass. They have the passes, but it's really basics of running and getting them. But me, I'm running counters, I'm running jet sweeps, I'm running fakes. And these parents and other kids are like, they're just blown away. But it's because I make my kids practice. And the league recommended it too. They said, if you're a coach, if you want to hold practice, by all means, do it, you know? And I hold a practice 1 hour a week. So bing, idea in my head, provide value for 8 months or whatever, how long I did last year, excuse me, provide value. 2022 comes around. Let's start throwing like an affordable camp for the community. $10 a head. Why not? Coach them for an hour, $10 a head, 1 hour. Let's say you get 10 kids, $100. Have that 3 times a day or 3 times a week, maybe 4, maybe 5. You know, start and then take that money, start running ads, get more traction, put it back into the business. So last week was really my first week, brother, of doing it. Now, mind you, I've been coaching for a while. I've been playing football for a long time, so there was no doubt in my ability. It was, you know, even last week too, bringing up back to what you were saying earlier. It's like, did you have any doubt in doing it? I had to, like, you know, confide in her. Like, am I doing the right thing? Can I do this? You know, she's like, stop doing that. You know, stop doing that. You got this. You got this. You know what you're doing. And it's just that little reassurance sometimes, us as men. If we have that other one there that they can give us a little reassurance, it's like, yeah, you know what? I can do this. I can do this, right? Because sometimes we need that, you know? We're so gun-ho. We're so go, 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 go. Sometimes we burn out. Sometimes we do this, you know, and then to have that reassurance. So that was a really big help last week for her to tell me to go. And last week we finished, we did 2 days, 2 days last week, and camp was awesome. I mean, like, the first day we had 13 kids. Second day we had 10. Monday, I'm expecting another 10. I'm getting questions if I can do a camp for older kids during the week as well. So again, a lot of doors are opening up. You know, you're figuring it out as you go. I didn't know I know my football abilities, but can I translate my football abilities to random kids that show up at the park? And can I teach them? Can I make a practice that's good enough for them to practice, where the families felt like they spent the well $10? But again, it's $10, so you can't really expect much, parents, you know. But you know, doing that provides value for their kids, and now I'm building up relationships, and I'm building up the rapport. And yeah, man, it's a crazy adventure that I'm on right now with it, and I'm stoked for the future.
Yeah. So for anyone that's listening to this right now that grew up playing sports at all, rewind that for like 15 minutes and there's your first fucking business right there. Like, that's literally, you literally laid it out step by step how to fucking
Literally,
do it.
brother.
That's
Why not?
fucking
Like, why
genius,
not?
man.
Right? What parent wouldn't want to bring their kid to the park? You know, get them some fresh air, have them play with other kids, get a good workout for $10, and still learn football drills, sports drills, strength, agility, quickness drills. You know, and then have that camaraderie of just having a team feel. You know, like, even like little things of, like, you know, making the kids, you know, do stretches as a team. You know, count as a team, break as a team. You know, put their water bottles together on the ground as a team, versus having water break and the kids run back to their parents. No, all parents make their kids put their water bottles right here. So when water break comes, they congregate together, right? Now you're drinking water together. Now to create discipline, put that water back down nicely. Do not let it fall over. Whistle blows, whose water is that? It's falling over. Pick it up, you know, put it down. Creating these little disciplines, right? Parents look at that like, damn, he's focused. He knows he's on the little things. Not just he's not just here to take money from us and train our kids. No, I'm providing a value, providing a service, deliver on it. So yeah, man. But yeah, I kind of laid it out for if whoever's playing sports out there and you got a couple hours a week, why not, man? It's so much fun.
That's so dope, dude. And I love everything that you're talking about as well, because I grew sorry, oops, my mic just cut out there. But I like everything that you're talking about, because these are things that like I kind of like I grew up playing sports, man. Like I grew up playing like every other Canadian kid. I grew up playing hockey. I grew up playing like rugby as well through high school. I did play like one season of football. I played sports through high school, right? But like I feel like for a long time, and again, this is something that we were talking about before we started recording, like waking up early, like little things, like in terms of discipline, like I've developed that a lot more in the last couple of years. But when I was growing up, man, like I didn't have that discipline. Like I remember showing up to practices and like I'd be fucking just out of it. Like I'd be like kind of, if the coach was looking away, I'd be the kid just chilling, just coasting, like I'll put in
Yeah.
work when people are watching, man. But like that's
Yeah.
how I was, man.
Yeah.
But I like that you're kind of instilling that discipline. And dude, the other day I was watching your story. So this will be like the shout out, the plug for your story, man. I'm watching your story
Love it.
and the kids are watching running laps, right? And the kid in the very front, you're like, yo, bro, are you leaving your team behind? Like, look behind you. Like, are you leaving your team behind? And like, just like
Exactly, bro.
having that accountability between the team. I'm like, dude,
Exactly.
these kids are 6. I didn't learn these values till I was 26. Like, what the fuck?
Right. Yeah, bro. Exactly. Like, you brought it up. Even like the little things like that, creating that team camaraderie, creating that it's not just about you, there's no I in team. So if we're going to be at practice, we're going to be a team. In that hour, we're a team. Whether you see these kids ever again or not, you're in my practice, we're a team. So look behind. Don't leave them behind. Just because that kid's 5 and you're 12, we're going to go ahead and lead the pack, but you're going to look behind and make sure that you're not leaving any of these kids behind, right? Whether it's, and I do that even whether the older kids or the younger kids. My 5-year-olds know that when they lead the pack, whoever's lead, they love where my kids get they want to lead the line because they want to be in the front, but they know that if you're leading the front, you're accountable for the rest of the pack. You look behind. Don't just run off and you think you're the fastest kid and you can run and make it. No, no, no. We're doing this as a team. This is a jog. This is a warm up. This is not a race. And you're gonna go ahead and jog as a team. Go. And then I make it where they don't. I always tell them, do not skip. Stay in your line. Do not cut in front of the other kid. Because sometimes, with kids, they want to cut and go, go, go. No, no, no. Create that discipline. Now, when you're on the football field, when it comes to game day and you do that, and the other parents, they see that, like, damn, like, how this guy has all his kids, disciplined enough to stay in one line, not cut. When I ask a question such as like, are you ready? Sound off. Yes, coach. If they don't do it, I'm like, hey, I can't wait. That wasn't good. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Are you guys ready? Yes, coach. Oh, lights up the whole park, bro. So it's good fun and being able to like again just instill those values like how you said we didn't really learn that or we didn't have it. But yeah, that was it right there.
That's sick, man. You're really like the sun's coming up here now, man. It's winter
Biggie,
time
yeah,
here. So like we're like just
good,
having
good.
the sun come up. I'm getting energized, man. And you
Yeah,
kind of have that same energy as like I do, where it's like kind of like first thing in the morning, like let's go. And
right.
you have that energy where you like kind of like always instantly like you want to lift the energy of like the people around you. Like were you always like that, or did that just kind of come on later in life, or like what, like how did that energy come about?
I owe a lot of my discipline to my father. To be honest, like he was always present in my sports growing up. He coached me, same way I'm coaching my son at that same age. He was always there coaching until he couldn't coach me anymore when I got to like high school. So he was coaching me Pop Warner football, basketball clinics. When I was like maybe 5 or 6, we did soccer. He was there coaching, and he would always push me. Like I did a paper in college, and it was about the push that he gave me, and I literally compared him growing up from ages maybe like 6 to 18 as a army sergeant breathing down your neck 24/7, and he called it tough love growing up, and I times I hated him for it, but now I look back and I'm so appreciative for it because it had a lot of reason in the way I am today, right? The reason I tick, how I tick like that is, if he wasn't like that on me, I probably wouldn't be the discipline, the drive, the motivation, because he did that so young for me, right? And then furthering that more, by eagerness to learn, eagerness to want more, right? Fueling your brain with other people's content that are motivational, right? Because with social media, it's so easy to get caught in the scroll, right? But you got to remember that you're consuming other people. Every you see it, your brain sees it, consumes it. Whatever you consume, your body feels, right? So yeah, a little bit on tangent on that one, but if that answers your question, but yeah, my dad helped me out a lot with that, to be honest.
That's wicked, man. And did you have like a moment where, because like for me, it was always like I had this kind of feeling where like being disciplined felt like I was sacrificing things. Like I was like, like, okay, I have to give up, if I have to follow like a meal plan, then I have to give up the foods that I want. Or like, if I want to wake up early, then I have to give up laying in bed and being comfortable. Like everything felt like a sacrifice. Like it didn't really seem like, until like probably even like last year, a lot of the times it was like fake it till you make it. But like, and then I finally had this like perspective shift last year where it was kind of like, oh, this isn't really like a sacrifice. Like this is like more of like an investment. Like, did you have like a transition between that like mindset at all, like throughout your life, like where you were like, fuck, I hate all this discipline shit where my dad is like trying to like push this discipline on me. And then you realize like it clicked where you're like, man, I'm so thankful that I had that.
Yeah, dude, straight up. That's a really good point. Is I really, like I said, I hate him growing up. Like he was so hard on me. But like, like say for instance, like I wanted my own cell phone, freshman, sophomore year. I wanted my own cell phone. Now again, this is back in the old days where before the smartphones, but I did a paper round. I had a paper route Monday through Friday, and I had 27 stops over a course of I started at the bottom of a hill, and I went up to the hill, up a hill, up like a apartment building complex, back down, big loop around, and then come back to my house. I would do that Monday through Friday. I'd get off of school, make sure I didn't miss my school bus because I needed to stay on time. Get to my school bus, get home, jump in my bike, do my paper route, get back in time before football practice. Then my dad would drive me to football practice. This is 7th, 8th, 9th grade. I was paying for myself, my own cell phone in 8th grade. I made $60 a month, Mark. $60 a month, Monday through Friday, doing a paper route for probably an hour and a half a day, right? And practices at maybe like 4:30, I don't remember, but I would get home, get home and now sacrifice. Of course, I wanted to play outside with my friends. Of course, I wanted to hang out after school and, be that kid that maybe max on some girls and whatnot and, hang out with the boys and what. But for a lot of time in my life, football was big for me. And I'm glad, like it was very big, and I could see the results paying off, like from my practices when I was young. So when I got to like freshman, sophomore year, kind of clicked on me that like, hey, you're good at football. Like, pursue it as much as you can. It was my passion. I had it in my mind, brother, that I was going to play, some type of like professional. I was gonna, in my mind, I was going to go NFL. In my mind, I was going to go CFL. In my mind, I was going to go overseas and play. For a long time, I wanted to play for the Argos. I wanted to play for the Argos up in the CFL, up in Canada. So, yeah, that was my drive in high school. And high school was kind of like my freshman, sophomore year was kind of that like, yeah, you're sacrificing a lot right now, but right now it's just a small portion of your life. You're gonna do more. And just stick to the plan, stick to the grind, stick to what you're doing. And it kept me out of trouble a lot. And yeah, man, I hope that answered that right there.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Because that's like so sick. There's been so many times where like I've been on both sides of that lifestyle where, I'm working like 7 days, 6 days a week. And, it's kind of like round the clock. Like there was times where I was working like full time in construction during the day. And then at night I'd be like working in a restaurant, serving or bartending, whatever. And, it's so funny, man, because it's like you're working in a bar where you're not drinking anytime because you have to wake up the next morning to go to a construction site at 7 o'clock in the morning. Like it's like You know, there's all those times where, you know, same thing. It's like, you know, obviously you're working with, you know, a bunch of girls, a bunch of guys, and they want to get off work and have a couple of drinks. And you're like, nah, I'm going to bed. I'm sorry. I'm going home to bed. Like, that's it. And,
Right.
you know, for a long time, and that was actually one of the environments where it kind of started to actually click for me, because I would come into work and it would be like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you know, PM. And I'd be coming into work at the restaurant after a day of construction. And I shower up, get some dress clothes on, and head to the restaurant. And I walk in and people are like just waking up from the night before, and they're like kind of haggard. And I'm like, dude, I've already been working all day and I feel like I have more energy than these people. Like, it started to click. I'm like, dude, my body feels better. Like, I've been, you know, I've been just like putting in a little bit more work. And, you know, obviously when you're working like that, you have to be resting. Cause I'm sure like those days in high school, you go to school all day, biking around paper route, go to football practice, come home, eat dinner. You're like, man, I'm beat.
Yeah, dude, it was. And I had to train myself to do my homework during my lunch and recesses. You know, I had acquaintances in high school, but I didn't have like, and that's one thing I kind of like, wish I had growing up. I didn't have like a immediate click. You know, I didn't have the crew. I had like, you know, guys and acquaintances and good friends here and there, but because, you know, for the most part, I almost felt like a loner. Like, you have a lot of friends, but you don't have like that. You kind of feel like a loner, you know, in a sense. So I took the opportunity. I was like, you know what, I'm not. I'm, you know, maybe on certain days in high school, I would stay in class and just do my work, knock it out, because I knew that once I got done with school, I had to go to my paper route, got to go to practice. And do I really want to do homework after my practice? I'm tired, you know? And to have that discipline, you know, your sophomore, junior, and then keep doing it your senior year, you know what I mean? I kind of did that all the way, and it really helped out when it came to the time management, you know, because it sucked doing it after.
It's insane that you had like that discipline back then, man, because I coming from like the other side of that, like I was the one that, you know, I would sacrifice all my own personal stuff just for the social experience. Like, that's how I was for like the first probably 2 decades of my life. Like, you know, I would be like, you know, tuck away my own work just to like chill with some friends at recess or lunch. And I tell you, man, like, the same way you said it is like, you could have a lot of friends, man, but I still felt like a loner in high school, even though like I did have a couple immediate clicks. Like, it's like, but I always describe that as like, they were like party friends. Like, you know, right when you get out of high school and you have like the boys that you go out for drinks with, but then like, you don't even know this guy's, like, you've never seen his parents, or like, you don't know who this person is. Like, you only ever see them when you go out to the local watering hole. Like, you go and grab some wings and some beers or whatever it is. Like, and it's like, dude, that's not even like, you still feel the same way, whether you're like isolating yourself to put in work or you're sacrificing everything to just chill with these guys on the weekend. I feel like you still feel the same either way. Like, you don't have that connection. You don't have that kind of like sense of community. But I feel like when you are able to kind of, like you said, like when you are, I'm not sure. I think we were recording when you said it. You said, when I'm somewhere, I'm at that
No,
place.
no, I don't think so. So I said that's from Jim Roman's. When wherever I'm at, I'm there. Right. So wherever I'm at, I'm there. So be in the moment, be in that moment where if it's time to put in work, time to put in work. Time to get shit done, time to get shit done. You know, if you're with your kids, be with your kids. You know, if you're with your other half, be with her. You know, wherever you're at, I'm there. And then so it allows you to be in that present moment. And, you know, sometimes when you have so much on your plate, you know, especially with what I'm doing, everything that I'm doing, that it can feel like I'm getting pulled here, I'm getting pulled there, I'm getting stretched thin, you know, drives a lot of sometimes stress. And, you know, you talk about a lot about mental health and whatnot. So I'm very big on planning. I have notebooks, like literally, like if you can see it, I have like, I don't know if you can see it, it's my blurry, but I have books upon books that help me keep track, you know, jotting my thoughts, you know, journaling down, you know, getting it on a piece of paper to, for one, structure, two, just to get it off, you know, and three, just keep me accountable. My things to do book. What am I doing that day? I always try to wake up, you know, early or at least the night before and plan my next day ahead. You know, just one day ahead, plan the next day. Okay, what do you need to do the next day? Right? What needs to get done? right? That's how I really stay on track. And sometimes people ask me, like, how do you stay on track with all of this? And I legit have this book right here, things to do, hustle, grind, repeat. And like every day I'll go in and I'll just like, you can see it, like just jot down things to do. And I have a book for kind of like everything. I have a book for when I read books and I want to take notes and remember things from that book. I have a book for that. I'll open up my book. I call it my book for books. And I write down notes for that book. I have my Quick Feet Academy book. I have my LVYD book. So that's a little tip or a little nugget in how at least helps me stay on track and helps me stay sane, you know?
Yeah, I use this. I use a pretty similar method actually. I have like a day timer that I write down the hours I spent working that day and what I was
Nice.
working on, just to
Nice.
kind of
Yeah.
keep me more like present of like things like that. I actually even have like a notes section in my phone. It's just called books I've read recently, and it's just like every time I finish a book, I'll write down the title of the book and then like a couple takeaways from that book
Nice.
so I
Yeah.
can kind of reflect back. So it's cool that you have. Did someone teach you that, or did you just develop that system by yourself? Or
I was always an avid note taker. I always liked the pen to pad. I always liked that. And um, so I don't know. No one taught it to me. It's kind of like maybe like a skill acquired over time because I have so much avenues going on that I needed a place to keep track of everything. And um, yeah, I felt like the easiest way is just grab a bunch of composition books and just write it in there. And it's been working for me. It might not work for some. Some people might have other ways to do it that work better for them. But one way that works for me, at least at this moment, until I figure out something better, is that these dollar composition books. And what's really cool is that you have books that like you can stash away. I love finding notebooks that I've had that I've wrote notes in, and I've have like just detailed notes, scribbles here and there from years ago. I love finding those books. They're like gems. And I'll find them, I'll reopen them up, and it's like, oh, that's a great nugget. Oh my God. Oh shoot, yeah, it's great to find those. Yeah.
have you found like so? Because I go like tying back even like because you could even go full circle with this to time management and kind of just being a little bit more present. Like, have you found that since you started like kind of journaling these things, like one of the biggest benefits that I found was like just like I'm one of those kids where I'm like ADHD, if you haven't noticed yet. Like my brain's just kind of bouncing all over the place and I run with whatever idea I get at the time. So like I found that once I started journaling, like I was kind of able to be a little bit more present with the people that I was with or the activities I was doing, whatever it could be. Because if I just like even right now, like I have a post-it notepad and a pen right beside me because I've been just kind of like jotting little things down every time I think about it. So I can just stay
Mm-hmm.
focused with you. You know
Stay
what I mean?
focused. Right, right, right,
So
right.
that I don't have to like keep remembering that thought. I can just literally keep
Mm-hmm.
listening to you and I can look back at it. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like since I started journaling, I'm able to be a lot more present because I'm not stressing about, just I guess trying to chase all of these different thoughts that I have, or I don't know. I
Yeah.
just feel like for me, it's kind of helped out a ton. Do you kind of feel the same way, or like it's helped you be more present with kind of like that Jim Rohn quote, like being where you're at?
Yeah, you're spot on, brother. Like you're so spot on that. Our brains flooded with thoughts, ideas. People are calling us, either texting us. Something comes on the TV program, or we click this next window on our computer and something pops up, or So there's so many different things that are out there distracting us that having some place to write down your thoughts, keep track of them, because I'm the worst. I'm like, I don't even remember what we did yesterday. Sometimes there's so much going on that I'll look through my things to do book at the previous days just to look at things that I did, because what did we do yesterday? What was going on? I'm so much and whatnot. So I feel like journaling has been a big catalyst in being able to, for one, control the thoughts, like how you said, and then when now I know that this period, this block of time from 3 to 5 p.m., I know that I have a call at 5, 6, and 7. 3 to 5, I'm gonna make it count and be with my kids. I'm gonna be spending time with them. And like how you said, it allows you to be stress free, because if not, maybe, and you don't write it down, you don't plan it out, you don't schedule it, you don't be able, to get it out of your system. You're now with your family, your other half, your kids, and now you're thinking about that right there. You're thinking about the other stuff, and now you're not currently there. So Yes, I feel like that that really helps a lot. So for anybody else that's watching that's struggling in that sense, go down to your local store, grab you $1 notebook, just try it. Try it for a few days, track your thoughts. Here's another one too. Here's a big one. Let me pull it up. See this book right here, brother?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this book right here is a journal book that I've been writing to my son since he was in the womb for the last 6 years. So the first entry is in this book is December 25th, 2014. The last entry in this book is January 2nd, 2022. So for 6 years, I've been writing little one-page notes, stories, things that happened that day, things that's going on, things that are going on in my life, things that are going on in our lives, quick updates here and there. I plan to publish this book when he turns 18 and give it to him as like one of my gifts. It's like his life story. So I've been
That's
writing in this.
Dude, that's so beautiful, man. Dude, does he know about that?
He doesn't know about it. He doesn't know. He sees me writing in it, but he doesn't know what it's for, what it is. It's just it's gonna be my life or his life story or some type of thing. But so since 2014, I've been writing in this book. At one point, I thought I lost it, and I was almost devastated, bro. So devastated. I thought I lost this, but actual handwriting from 2014 of like just current events. Like this was January 1st, 2015 at 1:50 in the morning. And it just keeps going on. So it's whenever you do things like this too, it helps you get a sense of gratitude. And if you follow Gary V, are you familiar with Gary
Yeah,
V?
yeah, yeah.
100%. And he's really big on gratitude, being grateful, because gratitude can be an actually really driving motivation factor, right? So how are you so energetic? How do you get so much done? So it's because I'm fucking grateful. I'm gratitude, right? I'm so grateful for all the things that I have that it makes me want to do more, right? So you want to get motivated? Write down 3 things you're grateful for every day. Write that shit down, right? But yeah, just to bring that up, I'm pretty proud of this. But I'm still writing, still going. There's things that I still need to catch up and write on. But yeah, for the last 6 years, I've been writing in that book.
Bro, that's literally the most beautiful thing ever, man. That's so sick. There's a couple of people that I've been connecting with recently that, like just like they have kids and that are instilling some cool shit like into their kids. Like one guy that I connect with all the time, like Zach, he runs like the Plaid Jacket Philosopher podcast. He does like little things like mommy date nights, like where like he'll give one of his sons like, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks, and like he can take his mom out for a date because they don't have like any other women in the house. So he's trying to get his boys to learn like, like how to act around women, how to treat women, how to be chivalrous, like those types of things. So
Awesome. Yeah.
little things like that, or dude, that
Yeah.
book thing that you're doing, man, like that's so sick. Another thing I saw, dude, that you're doing is do you pay your kids like $1? Like, is that how they get their allowances? So they read books?
Yeah.
Like, that's
Dude,
so sick,
I'm
man.
getting out hustled here, bro. Like my son's such an avid reader, and he thinks he's the one hustling me, but I'm low key hustling him. And now it's $1 per new book, and it's 50 cents per reread book. Okay, it's per 50 cents per reread book. But he reads books. He's 6 years old, and he's on a. Yesterday was his first chapter book he started. I was so stoked for that. Like he knocked out like 2 chapters. Usually he reads a book from cover to cover, right? Dr. Seuss or these other books, but he had a fat book, and he read the first 2 chapters, and I was just blown away. Like this is so crazy, and it for one, you got to lead from the front. We could choose tablet time, or we could choose turn it off. I'm grabbing a book, you're grabbing a book, and we're gonna sit here and read together, right? So it takes leading from the front so that they can see you doing it. Because a lot of the stuff that I want him to do, I'm going to do it first. I'm not going to tell him to do something I'm not going to do, and so that still that discipline for him, still that. But $1 per book, you should see his little piggy bank, and I display his little piggy. The piggy bank is clear. It's like a big, like a plastic jar, but it's clear, so you can see all the cash piling up in there. And I'm gonna look at all your hard work. He's like, can we spend it? I'm like, no, you're gonna know the value of building your money, growing it. You're gonna know the value of saving it. So financial principles as well.
That's dope, dude. I didn't even learn. Yeah, man. I'm still figuring those things out, man. Like that's so sick. This kid's gonna be twice as successful as I'll ever be, man. That's unreal,
Hold
man.
on. Give me a second. Hold on. Let me
Yeah,
see.
yeah. Take your time, man. It's all good.
Right. See? Come here. Hi, Uncle Mark. This is Uncle Mark. Uncle Mark. This is Jackson.
Oh,
Tired. Hi,
what's up,
Uncle.
Jackson?
Hi, Uncle. Okay, go. Go lay down on the couch.
He's tuckered out.
Yeah. They had a long day. Birthday party at the grandpa's house, and lots of grandkids. Jackson's part of 13, 13 great grandkids, something like that. It's huge family.
Holy man.
Yeah. So from my other side, so from Nisa's side of the family, there's a lot of family on that side, a lot of kids. So we're over there for majority of the day, and they had pool party. They had like a jumping slide, slippery tarps, and all that. You'll see it on my story later. I took a lot of content yesterday. So yeah, so he's pooped out today.
That's wicked, man. That's so sick, dude. It's January and you guys are having like pool parties and shit. We're like, man, if you got a pool right now, you're worried about your pipes freezing here, bro. Like that's
Yeah,
where we're at.
that's crazy, dude. That's so
Everyone I've
crazy.
had on recently, actually, on this podcast, dude, it was like my last guest was from actually no, my last guests were two people from Vancouver here as well, actually. But before that, it was like a guy from Australia, and then another one was a homie that's out in Bali right now. And like, dude, Hawaii, man, like for me growing up, like I'll be 100% honest, bro. Like that was like, dude, that's like Narnia to me. Like that's like, you only see it in movies, bro. And it's like,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
fuck,
yeah.
man, I wish I could go somewhere like that, let alone grow up somewhere like that, man. Like that's so sick. Every time I see your stories, I'm like, imagine those kids get to grow up there. That's so dope, man. Like,
Yeah, and that's again going back to gratitude, like right there, just reminding yourself that like other people don't have this. Sometimes growing up here, you can take it for granted. You get content, you get complacent. A lot of the energy, I'd say not energy, let's say a lot of the growing up here because we're on an island, a lot of people do get content, complacent, because this is just around us 24/7. We don't know any better, right? So I try to stay away from that as far as like, getting too caught up in the moment, but knowing that this is a place that we call home, but definitely grateful to have. Now, let's not take it for granted and let's work. Let's make something out of it. Let's do something,
yeah, dude, so sick.
Pull it
Sorry,
on.
bro. Sorry, bro. Are
No,
you
you're fine. You're fine,
no,
bro.
no. All right, all right. I was
You're
gonna
good.
say, are
You're
you
good.
on like if you gotta jump off? What's up, Jackson?
No,
How's it going, man?
no, what's up?
Look at it, what a
Hi,
cutie.
uncle. Hi, uncle. Come, let me set you up. Hold on, Mark. Give me like 2 minutes.
That's all good, bro. Chill. I ain't even gonna edit this out, man. I like this. This is sick.
My little one's waking up in the morning. He's my early riser. I do. This kid wakes up crack of dawn, and then we usually try to knock out like an hour run. I got my AirPods on, so I still can hear you.
Yeah, yeah.
So so we usually try to knock out like a walk in the morning, every morning and whatnot. Hey, go away from there. Go, go,
Just play with like the focus thing on the
yeah.
iPhone, man. What a G.
I'm gonna sip off my coffee real quick.
That's sick, man. You run every morning?
I try to. Last week I didn't get much running in because I had the camp and whatnot. So, but I try to at least get a couple miles in a week. Try to walk, at least walk, if not run, at least walk in the morning. So we'll probably go for like a walk a little bit later, especially because I homeschool my son, and so he doesn't get much school. You get recess and whatnot. So being that I homeschool him, a lot of our physical activity comes from walks and his football practices.
That's dope, man. Did you just start homeschooling the last couple of years? Is it just because of all the madness going on?
Yeah, but I know. Yes. To answer that question, yes. If he's on his first grade, we homeschooled kindergarten, homeschooled first grade. It's through I don't know if you're familiar with Uppbeat, the online Christian academy. So one thing I really like about it is that they have Bible class. They dive into scriptures. The first class of the day is Bible class. Then it goes into like 7 to 8 different classes, which range from 15 minutes to 30 minutes. We'll give them a break in like lunchtime. We'll give them recess, 10-minute break. The madness out here is crazy, bro. It's like, yeah, really, really pushing it. People are getting fired, let go from the jobs because their choice not to, get what's, get the vaccination and whatnot. And yeah, man. So a lot of the jobs, people are hurting out here. People are hurting out here with that, with everything that's going on, and the uncertainty of the school education and whatnot, and what a they're teaching the kids. I don't know. We don't know, right? B, what are they going to do? Are they going to just like maybe force the kids to have shots one day? I don't know. And so just felt like I'm in the position I am. Let's homeschool him, and at least for now, and then until maybe things get better. But he's thriving. He's thriving. He's getting good grades. He's, what I mean. He's getting good grades. He's doing good tests, and yeah, man. And we go back and forth in it, because she was really a big advocate for it, and I wasn't at first, because obviously, right, I want interaction. I want him to go to school. I want him to meet kids. I want him to go away. I want a break. I want a break, but it ended up working out. So I love having him here.
That's like the biggest thing. Cause yeah, it's kind of interesting watching you guys in the States as well, because it's being handled a little bit differently. Like it's like a state by state kind of thing.
Right.
Whereas like
Very.
here, like our
Yeah.
whole country is still playing pandemics. So it's like we see like so many different states being, handled differently. And then we're like, yeah, we're still stuck, man. We're done. Like we're
Yeah.
toast up here, man.
Same thing. Like, I mean, there's no lockdowns or anything like that, and I hope we don't get back to it. But there are mandates on gathering numbers. You still gotta have your mask on in the stores. To sit in a restaurant, you gotta show your vaccination card, or you gotta have a test 2 days prior. You can't go to the movie theaters.
We don't even have that
like,
option, bro. It's just
oh, so
vaccination app on your phone, QR code, or nothing,
yeah,
man.
but nothing. So a lot of last year was allowing you to be able to show a test. This year, let's say like the University of Hawaii, the UH, right? They just started on January 5th, mandate that you are no longer allowed to show a test, and then it's A or B. And if it's B, they're gonna let you go with no pay.
That's insanity. It's like that's one of the biggest things right now in terms of like having your own business or just having a little bit more control over your income. Is like, man, that's such a big fear of just like not being able to be, going back to kids. Like, I mean, at least as like adults, you kind of have that decision. Like you could just quit your job and start your own thing, or you just, sometimes you just got to eat it for now. But I don't know. It's such a different thing. But I think the biggest thing going back to the kids is like some of the provinces here in Canada are like talking about, not even consenting with the parents. Like they can just medicate your children. And it's like, at that point, that's a little bit scary for me, but.
And you hear rumors like that. Even here, you hear the rumors. You're not sure if it's true, but do you really want to be that parent to find out that, like, hey, your school? And one of my friends too, just last week, he told me the same thing, that his school down here did that to his daughter. I don't want to say what school it was, but I was like, no way. He's like, bro, they did. I'm like, are you serious? They really did. And he's like, they took the kids and they gave them the shot on campus without the parents' consent, and it was mandated, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know the validity of that story, but he told me that, and we were having a serious talk, and he was pretty upset that the daughter got it. And I'm not going to say and be like, you're a liar. I'm not going to do that to him. I take your word for it. But yeah, dude. So that's the reason, another big reason why, we chose to homeschool him, because I don't want to be that. And you see the videos out there. You see the people out there that, like their kids got it and their kids got sick or something happened. You don't see it on mainstream, but you'll see it on like social media, not here and there, that, and it's like, do you really want to be in that position where, I mean, and again, it's pro-choice. I don't want to get all political on it, but it's if you want to get it, then you want to get it. It's up to you. But I believe I have the choice over my own body, and I can do what I want with it.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm in the exact same boat, bro. Like I don't really care what other people do. Like, and I think the thing is, bro, is like people want to claim they're pro-choice, but then the thing about being pro-choice is you got to be pro-choice across the board, not just like when you choose to be. Do you know what I mean? Like some people are like, okay, like the hot topics with pro-choice are obviously like this vaccination and like abortion, but like it goes to everything, right? Like,
right.
you know, at the end
Yeah,
of the day, like,
you can't be like,
especially,
yeah, I got you. Yeah, you can't be like, all right, choice here, but no, that you can't do that there. Right. I see what
yeah,
you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it
there
makes
was a
sense.
famous prime minister in Canada a long time ago, right? Like our equivalent to a president. I don't know how much you know about our political system because most Canadians don't even understand our political system, but
Hmm.
um there was a famous Canadian prime minister a long time ago. And I don't even know who it was, but I just know that the quote was that the Canadian government has no business being in the bedrooms of Canadians. And it was in regards to like gay rights, gay marriage rights. And
Hmm.
what he's saying is like it's not the government's role at that point to like to make
Hmm.
mandates about those things. Like they're supposed to be
Yeah.
talking about our economy and you know keeping our borders safe and you know X, Y, and Z. Like
Mhm.
talking about what we do in our private lives is like not really their role. So like that's kind of the
Yeah.
way I look at it. Like it's like,
Yeah, I
man,
agree.
people can sleep whoever with whoever they like. You know, they can
Mhm.
dress however they like. They can put
Mhm.
whatever they want in their body. They can do anything they want, man. Like as long as it's not harming me, I don't care. Like that's the way I
Mhm.
think pro-choice has to operate. Like, and I think America kind of does have a better grasp on that than Canada does. I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but I guess this is just a message for other Canadians. Like, please,
Right, right,
guys,
right.
let's all
Time
stand
out,
up.
Mark. Hold on. I'm getting hot. It's getting
All
warm.
good,
It's
bro.
getting
All good.
it's getting warm. It's getting warm. Give me an opportunity to show off the blue and pink.
Hell yeah, man. But that's kind of the way I kind of look at it. Like I feel like I don't know, man. Like do you guys because for us, like it seems like there's kind of no end. Like I feel like for a lot of Canadians, they kind of just feel like and I guess like I don't know, because I feel like America kind of has that freedom and spirit. Whereas like Canadians have always been a little bit more like laid back. Like we're kind of like, you know, apologetic and chilling. So I feel like we're a bit more complacent that way. But I feel like do you guys does it feel like the culture around like at least where you were at, like is it kind of just like waiting for this to end? Or do you think that there's like actionable steps that people can take to kind of just try and make this a better experience? Like what do you think's the way out? This is just like my personal question for you. Like it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, no, no. I mean, in my eyes and what I see moving forward, I really don't see a way out in the sense of are we going to get back to our normal days before the way the way it operates, the way big pharma, big tech is, and you know how they with this whole new stuff coming out and how much money they've made. Why are they going to go back to normal? Why are they going to go back to the other way? If they can keep it going, you know. So it's sad to say it, but it's the harsh truth, you know. And some might not agree, some might, but at least in my eyes, I don't feel like it's going to go away anytime soon. You know, you just gotta get by in a sense of doing what you can. And that goes back to focusing on what you can control and not letting all the other BS in the world get to you because there's things that we can't control. And if you let it get to you, it's only going to bog you down and take away your energy that you could use on being productive, you know? So I'm a big firm believer on, um, where your focus goes, your energy flows, right? I'm a big firm believer in that. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. So making sure that okay, yeah, that sucks. I hate it. I understand it. I feel it. All right, what can I do about it? Nothing. Move on.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that. I love that you're doing that, like the community fitness stuff as well, man. Because like
Yeah.
for us,
Mhm.
like we just got another round of lockdowns here. So
I
um
saw that on your story, brother.
yeah,
I thought I saw
across
something like that. Yeah.
across the board, even if like you are vaccinated, they've shut down gyms. So like there's no way to access a gym right now unless you have a
Do you
home
guys have
gym.
a Do you guys have a curfew?
We don't
Like
have
no.
anything like that. We've never
Okay,
really
because
had
that's
anything like that, to be
okay.
honest. We
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
for a while, like I was working at a restaurant actually when the pandemic started. And we had the first level of like restrictions where we used to close at like midnight or around then. Like maybe there was restaurants that would open if they had a bar until 2, but that was like the latest you could stay open in general, like before the pandemic. And then once the pandemic hit, everyone had to like stop serving alcohol by like 10. And then it got to the point where restaurants had to close at 10 because being out late and enjoying yourself would be kind of more dangerous, I guess. And then there was just all these weird like restrictions.
Weird,
And
yeah.
then it was like indoor dining was shut down. And then on the patio, you still had to be like 6 feet apart, and
Right.
you couldn't have tables more than 4 people. Like, so it just got so for, and it got to the point where I'm like, dude, I can't even make money in this restaurant anymore. Like, I'm just eating shit from people all day. They're just yelling at me. Like,
They're
fuck
pissed. They're
this.
pissed.
Like,
Like,
fuck
what?
this, man. So I ended up just quitting. And, I work with a family business now, so we don't have to deal with
That's
all that
good.
shit. But
Good. Yeah.
it's like, yeah, man. I like the fact that you're doing like the community fitness. I guess that's how I
Yeah.
started this tangent,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Right.
once gyms got shut down here, even just like if you're unvaccinated or the mask thing or whatever it was, you know, I instantly started buying like dumbbells and a bench and like some bands and a yoga mats and like going for runs outside. Cause I'm like, bro, I have to take fitness into my own hands at this point. Like I've always been an
Mhm.
athletic guy. I'm not going to stop working out. Like, even if it's just for like a week or 2 weeks or three, like, fuck this. Like, I have to keep moving.
Right. Mhm.
But I've seen so many people that are just waiting for it to end. They're like, oh, I'll just get back in the gym when it ends, or I'll just, like you know, like maybe someone will help me later. Like, like it's just kind of like waiting for this thing. But I like that you're just kind of keeping the kids moving. Like, it's like, because there's the health aspect of like moving. Your immune system's
Right.
gonna be better when you exercise, but it's like the mental health aspect as well, man. Like you coop up kids in a room or in a house for so long, man. Like they gotta fucking move. Like even just watching Jackson earlier, man. Like he sees the camera, he's curious, he's like looking at it,
Yeah.
he's moving around. Like
I just
people
started,
gotta
so
move,
yeah,
man.
yeah, they got him, and that's why I really started. Is like, like they don't. He doesn't have like the recess time. He doesn't have like lunchtime where he can go out to the whatever. I don't even know if they do that anymore. Do they let the kids during recess run around, whatnot? Like some pictures that I've seen, and again, you don't know what you see online, but like it almost looks like a detention camp in a sense of like they got like the lines. You got to stand here, stand there, and mask, and like their desks are separated, and it's like nothing like the old days in which we grew up. So the school that me and you knew was not the same school that these kids are going to today. So that's really I wanted to start this football camp, for one, obviously make another source of income, because I'm not going to be out there just volunteering my time, which I was, but now I feel like, okay, you know, build up the value I can give and I can deliver. So why not create a product, create a brand? And I'm really big on branding, right? I'm really big on how to brand, what to do for branding, marketing, and then monetizing the brand in a sense that you can make it work for you. Right. So Quick Feet Academy, LVYD, Yo, that's Josh, those are all brands. And I created that. And Quick Feet Academy is just so an outlet that I can share with him. I can give back to the kids and just live in my passion. It's coaching football. I've always wanted to coach football. And when I'm out there, it's like I'm in the zone. I feel like I'm orchestrating, the guys at the a symphony. I'm
Oh
out
yeah.
there. I'm my whistle. I'm out there orchestrating.
Dude, that's so wicked, man. Are you on a time constraint? I feel like at this point I should
Not
kind
at
of
all,
start to
bro.
let you go if you want to chill with your kids or
I'm no time constraint. Mama bear sleeping, my daughter's sleeping, so I'm on no time constraint, bro.
I
7:54. It's a Sunday morning. Today's gonna be a lazy Sunday. Usually weekends I try to take like Sundays I try to just kind of just be in the moment, be with them. It's a lazy Sunday. I got a couple work calls later on tonight, but for the most part, my morning's wide open. So
that's wicked.
yeah, you're not pressed for anything, brother. If you got something you do, let me know. We can hop off. But if you want to keep flowing, I'm all for it. I got
Yeah, yeah,
coffee, so I'm
yeah.
good.
No, I'm good for now. I'm good for now. I just might have to go to the washroom in a bit. I've been drinking a lot of
Yeah.
water and coffee, but no. Um, that's sick, man. Do you find you have to be disciplined? This is like another concept I've been thinking about recently. Like, do you find you have to be disciplined about your rest time?
Yeah, you gotta rest, right? You gotta put in the rest, and you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it if you don't. You're gonna feel it if you don't. So especially because I'm coaching, I'm trying to be physically fit for the kids. I gotta rest. So listen to your body. For whoever's watching out there, listen to your body. You're tired, rest. You know what I mean? Take that. I'm not saying like be lazy and sleep all day, but take a nap if you need to. Get some sleep early. I'm big on trying to sleep decently early, like by 11:30. Now, if I'm burning the midnight oil and I'm doing work, then yeah. But if I know I don't got no work that night, I'm trying to be in bed early because I do want to wake up early. I try to get up early because if I can get up early, imagine those 2 hours that you get up before everyone wakes up. And I'm pretty sure you're aware of that, right? How much
Oh
you can get
yeah.
done. Yeah, you feel much more accomplished. You feel better. Your energy is flowing, and by the time that everyone's just rising, you're up and moving. You feel so accomplished that you've got stuff done. And especially when you got kids, having those 2 3 hours to just solely just focus and get work done is so imperative if you're trying to build any business, or you're trying to create a brand, or you're trying to work from home, is knowing the pockets of windows and maximizing them. So yeah, going back to that discipline, you got to have it, and listen to your body. Listen to your body. Your body's going to tell you when you need the rest, you know?
Yeah, 100%, dude. And I like that when you're talking about rest, bro, like you're talking the same thing I think about, like maybe like a little stretch or a nap or just chilling,
Mm-hmm,
like kind of hanging out with family, like having good
mm-hmm.
conversations. Like one of my biggest pet peeves is like when people are like, oh man, I just gotta rest. So I ate an extra large pizza and drank 2 liters of Diet Coke and watched 6 hours of Netflix. Like I just needed a rest day. Like but
A
I
little
think that
overboard doing it, bro.
yeah, yeah.
No,
But I feel like if you're not, that's what I was trying to allude to is like, I feel like if you're not like disciplined about like, okay, like my Sunday, like for me, my Sunday day is like, I just go for a jog in the morning, first thing, I stretch for a little bit, I shower up, and then I usually do yogas. Yoga is my Saturday workout, or my Sunday workout is always like yoga, just like stretching. Like just it's kind of like a more chilled, lax day. Like I do my laundry and my meal prep on Sundays. Like it's literally like a rest and recovery day. Like I just take
I
care of
was just gonna say that.
all the
Yeah,
shit, right?
recovery. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like it's like I
recovery
do
day.
my laundry, I do my meal prep, I set up everything so when I wake up Monday morning, like all my clothes are clean, all my meals are made. Maybe me and my roommate, he usually sweeps up a little bit more than I do, to be honest, but like maybe we'll sweep up, maybe we'll mop the floors a bit, and then it's like, okay, now, the house is clean, we've got shit figured out, I'm stretched out, so Monday morning I can get my workout in as well. Like just like taking a Sunday, like when you say like a rest day, like I feel like it's so imperative to just kind of make sure that that rest is actually recovery, right? And not just like even more self-destructive
Right,
fucking habits that you have to
right,
recover from
right.
after.
Yeah, being smart about your recovery. Recovery is huge. Especially working in the gym industry for the last 5 6 years, learning about recovery and how important it is. Because a lot of the times, um, let's say if you're in business for yourself, you feel like you always got to be grinding. You always got to be going. You can't take a day off. But it's really important to have that day off to let your mind rest, let your body rest. And have your body just reset. So those are good points that you brought up in that sense of just taking that rest day, recovery day, but not being not bad about it, but just being smart about it, right? Being smart about your rest day. Yeah, indulge. Now it depends on your goal. If you want to indulge in a pizza, have all that, then by all means, but don't complain when you're feeling like crap the next few hours, or you don't have the energy, or blah blah blah, right? You got to be smart about it. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. Because don't get me wrong, like, and for like the whole like cheat meal thing, like I definitely have my cheat meals, man. I definitely go
Mhm.
all out. I'm a
Yeah.
big guy on sweets and baked goods, dude. You put a tray of cookies in front of me, man, I could sit there. Like Christmas, man, is my
Yeah.
kryptonite, dude.
Yeah, that, right?
But that's the thing is like every time and this kind of didn't really click until I was eating a little bit better, and I actually understood what it felt like to feel good. And then
Mhm.
when I ate food like that, like over the Christmas break, like especially I was eating a lot of baked goods. I'm like, man, I feel heavy. I feel bloated. Like I feel like I can't move well or twist or kind of like run well. Like I feel like everything felt like kind of clogged up. Like my whole body felt clogged, man. And just like kind of understanding like, okay, these habits or these behaviors that I thought like before were like kind of rest and recovery. Like, okay, I'm just going to chill out and eat cookies for an hour and binge watch Netflix. Like, it's like now I have to recover from what was supposed to be my recovery when I'm
Mhm.
supposed to
Yeah,
be putting in
smart.
work. Are you still working in a gym? Are you still working, or are you just doing your own
No.
fitness stuff, right?
I left the gym in November 2nd, 2020. I'm actually working full time in the financial services industry. So I'm actually a licensed broker. So on top of everything I do, my full time is actually a licensed broker where I help people with their financial retirement, asset protection, parking their money. I've been doing that for a while now, and that's kind of like my main at the moment. And then I supplement that with all my other stuff. Um, so I've been doing that for a while, helping out like retirement planning and just learning about the financial services industry. I got my license back in January of 2021, and I just been working and writing business from home. So yeah, so that allows me, because I left the gym during 2020 November. They were calling me back, bro, and nothing wrong about it, but they wanted me to take a step down. They're like, hey, we know you have all these other things that you have going on outside. You got your other business, you got this, you got that. When you come back, would you think about, taking a step down? I'm like, first off, before the pandemic, I had all this stuff going on. I MC weddings, I had my graphics business. People were picking up like merch at my desk and whatnot. But I usually use all my avenues to coincide to one. So now that I have pawns where I can, all right, so from my LVYD line, I can, slowly bring people over to my financial services or however it works. They want me to take a pay cut. And I was like, I did all that and I wrote $1 million for you. You just gave me an award for $1 million sales club. It's on my Instagram. I'll tag you in it. $1 million sales club. There's only a few of us on the island that sold $1 million for UFC. I'm thinking to myself, like, I love you guys. You guys are the greatest company. Like, it was the greatest, like, family environment. I miss everybody. But I went down to the gym and I talked to my GM and I was like, I think it's time to take a bat on myself. I think it's time to take a swing on myself. And she was just like, I really love you for that. She was very supportive. I was nervous as shit walking into the gym and telling my boss, like, you know what, I'm not coming back. I love you guys, but I think it's time that mid-pandemic, I'm talking about November 2020, like pandemic is still going. And yeah, so so when you see on my page it says broker, a lot of that stuff is my financial services industry and working on that, the retirement planning, asset protection. And it's been a wild ride, been an adventure, been a grind. But then again, that's why I said, like, sometimes you need the pressure, because when you get the salary, you get that comfort. I gave it all up. I gave up a high paying job, gave up the salary, gave up the comfort to be with my family, to be with my kids, whatnot. So yeah.
Yeah, and even so, like it's funny because when we worked at the gym, we were working for, and so for us, like it was called Steve Nash Fitness World and Sports Clubs, but then we were
Are you talking
like,
about, wait, sorry, talking about Steve Nash, like
yeah, yep,
Steve Nash?
yep, yeah.
What?
Yeah,
That's
so
so cool. He's
so
one of my favorite
like
ballers,
the
bro. He's one of my favorite ballers. Steve
bro,
Nash is
so
legend.
this is crazy. It's a crazy story. So this gym started in Vancouver in like the 50s. It's called Fitness World. It's just called Fitness World, right? And then there's this time in, like, I guess, I don't know, this is way back in like the 90s or whatever. Steve Nash bought into the company. And so it became Steve Nash Fitness World and Sports Clubs. And they were like the fastest growing, like, kind of chain, like gym in like
Okay.
Vancouver here in BC. And so it's like a brand that's only in this area, but they grew so quickly because some of the guys that were running the company, like the president and some of the executives, they were all from like the Cali area, like kind of like from the States. One of them, like a couple from Washington, I think, a couple guys from Colorado. So it's like all American dudes that were running this company, and they all had ties to like 24-hour fitness and a couple other gyms, I think. I don't quote me on the 24-hour fitness actually, because I don't think that that's accurate, but they all had ties to different
Yeah, I had some
franchises in the
fitness,
gym.
fitness as well.
They had ties to gyms in the States, right? And so
Hmm.
one of them ended up being like a representative from UFC gym. And so when he came
Nice.
up to Canada, he had the exclusive rights to UFC gym Canada, like the Canadian version. And so I think the reason I bring this up is because I think that we had very similar in like sales trainings and structures to like what our job was like in terms of like the CRMs we were using, like just like did you guys deal with did you guys do like laser? Is that like something familiar for
Yep.
you?
Laser, leads, appointments, sales, enrolls, referrals.
100 calls a day,
Laser,
8
100%.
appointments,
100
15
calls a
referrals
day,
a
8
day.
appointments. 50, yep. No,
Oh
actually,
yeah.
well, depending on what the goal was for the month. So we'd reverse engineer it. So let's say our lead goal was 5,000 leads that month. I was in a really not high traffic, but high producing gym. And so our lead goal was always like ridiculous. And there was only like a sales team of us, like four. And like we're talking about, we got to do this much and we got to do at least 20 to 30 leads a day. It's like, and you just get used to the grind and whatnot. But yeah, the same laser, all that. What about 4 E's and a P? You guys ever had that?
4 A's and a P.
No, 4 E's and a P.
Which one's
So energy, energize, uh,
encouragement?
no,
Something.
energy, energize, edge, execution, passion. So you got to have the energy, right? So you yourself got to have that. So you got to make sure you got to be healthy. Now, when people come in, you got to have the energy to energize them, right? So like how you spoke about it earlier, having like your energy and getting energized. I'm energetic myself because when you come into the gym, I want to energize you. Now I got to have the edge. So I got to be on top of my wits. I got to have the edge. I got to educate myself on fitness because when people come in, you got to have the edge and you got to execute it properly within the framework of the gym, right? Within the framework of the gym. And then you got to have passion. So energy, energize, edge, execution, passion. That was a 4 E's and a P.
We never had that one, but
Yeah. But laser and
that's
yeah, so that was good. Yeah.
laser and like yeah, we had all these different things for like overcoming objections, but it sounds like we basically had the exact same
Same
training.
training. Yeah,
That's
bro. Same
insane.
training right there.
And it's so crazy, man. And that's like I remember like following you back in the day when I was still working at the gym, and I was like, and this guy's like literally doing the same thing that I'm doing. Like I remember every single day I'd come in and I kind of worked like every level of that sales ladder. I worked there for a few years, right? And I kind of climbed the
Mm-hmm.
ladder there. So I worked as like an MR and then AGM, and then I was a GM for a little bit at the last club that I was working at. And
Okay. Yeah.
for us, I feel like it was just like because we didn't have the infrastructure yet. Like it sounds like the gym that you were at was like there for a while. For us, like our company was rapidly growing, so it was easy to grow internally if you were just committed
Mm-hmm.
to the process. But
Yeah.
like I remember coming in every day as like an AGM or a GM and having to sit down and like walk my sales staff through like laser and kind of going through all these different things, like hyping them up. And then I'd watch your story and it's the exact same thing. And I'm like, yes, dude, I'm not out here
Yeah.
alone, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh man, I wish we had did we talk then? Did we connect then at all?
I think
No,
it was
not
just
really.
like little story replies,
Right, little story
like
replies.
hundreds or
Yeah.
fires.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now I remember. Oh, bro, that was a while back, man. That's awesome.
Dude, it's nuts, man. But are you still trained? Like, do you still go to are you able to go to that gym still, or is there
I
like
still have my
politics?
membership, but yeah, you gotta have to go in and whatnot. So yeah, so I haven't really gone. So that again, going back to like having the Quick Feed Academy. So for one, it holds me accountable and doing my training. Because I can't. Sometimes I do want to just lift heavy shit. Like you just sometimes you want to get in and bang some weights. You know what I mean? And that's what I miss. Not being able to have that outlet to bang weights. So try to supplement that with like some running and just doing drills at the park and whatnot. But yeah, I still work out as such. I still try to maintain my fitness, but I do miss having an aspect of like going to the gym, hitting the heavy bags, doing some classes and whatnot.
Yeah, because I was like one of my homies, like he's a personal trainer, he does like online training and he sells equipment. So he hooked me up like with a fat discount at the very beginning of the pandemic with dumbbells that go to 90 pounds. And so I've
Oh,
got some decent weight. But one of the things I missed, like I was like literally just starting, I just started doing jujitsu right before the pandemic
mm,
started. And then I got
yeah.
some, I got even some health stuff going on that I like had to stop for a while. And now like that's one of the biggest things I miss. But like say and I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. So I'm not saying like don't drop any names, but like I'm just wondering like in terms of like if one was living in your area, do you think they would be able to find like some underground gym that maybe someone would let them in for like a cash rate drop-in fee? Like you might be able to get a good workout in, or is it just like strictly you're screwed right now? Like push-ups, pull-ups,
If
and
you know,
rounds.
if you know the right people, like you know the right people, you know the community. I know there are out there, especially with like the jujitsu fan, because I was doing jujitsu for a little bit too, and that same family, I know that they have their own jujitsu outside, and it's cool because they show it on their stories, and it's they've built their own ring or little mat area, and they have their own jujitsu family, and it's not a school or anything. It's just the same people that you see at the jujitsu class, mixing with a bunch of others, meeting, you know, but they have like really, it's a really strong click. And I was just kind of getting into that click of jujitsu, and then again, pandemic shut down, but they have their own like just family of jujitsu, and you see them all the time training on their videos and rolling and whatnot. So to answer the question, they're out there. Yes, you just got to get plugged in with the people and have that network. And once you find it, I feel like you could find a home if you wanted to, you know. But yeah, there are some underground like places that do jujitsu. You know, people want to roll, they're gonna roll, whether it's in the garage, whether it's like they make their own backyard type stuff, but they're gonna roll, and they're out there. You know.
Well, it's like a testament to any type of fitness. Like it's like even if like your son's football league shut down, like if people want to throw a ball around, man, they're gonna throw a ball around. If they want to tackle their
Yes.
friends, they're gonna tackle their friends. Like you can't really
Mm-hmm.
stop that at the end of the day. Like
Right. Right. Yeah.
people are gonna exercise and they're gonna get some when they want to get some, man. Like
Right.
it's just yeah, it's just kind of having that kind of like, because I remember we were talking like there was one point, and I don't know if this is still like at the point you're at right now, but I remember you telling me there was a point where it was illegal for you to surf in Hawaii, man. Like,
Oh, dude. Yeah. At one point, like you couldn't be on the beach. You could surf, but you couldn't be on the beach. So you literally have to run from your car with your board to the water. And if they caught you on the beach, you get a ticket. Like, what sense does that make? And I almost got a ticket. I had got out the water in town. I had put my board down in the bushes or on like the grass, and I went back in the water to just take a dip. And 30 yards to my left, I see a guy at the shower. Uncle gets out, goes to shower, puts his board down, sits down on the wall. Cop comes out of the two cops come out of the bushes. Like they were waiting for him, bro. It was wild. And I'm in the water just watching this go down because he had his back turned and then they came over his right shoulder. They ticketed him. While they're ticketing him, one of the cops is looking at me. And I'm like, oh, hell no, this is not happening to me. So before they could get done with him, I got up, grabbed my board, and I started booking it to my car. But I'm like, is this really happening right now? Like, did Uncle just get a ticket for getting out of the water, surf, shower, sit down? And this uncle's trying to get me a ticket? I'm gone. Got my butt. I'm gone. So at one point, when during the lock, because this is mid shutdown, nothing was open. Town wasn't open, and like they were really trying to have you stay inside. And you could surf, which made no sense to me, but you couldn't be on the beach. So yeah, dude, I was running from my car to the water, bro.
that seems like almost as impossible as like taking guns away from Americans, just taking surfing away from Hawaiians, man. Like I feel like that's a
It made no
cardinal
sense.
rule.
It
That's
made
like
no
you
sense.
can't do it, man.
It made no sense to me. And then to that point, it's like, yeah, they're really trying to, drive you to stay home and, all the negative effects of being cooped up for so long, all that stuff right there, all that mental health, depression, just losing it, just staying home day after day after day. So me being able to surf during those breaks was a big reliever for me.
Well, especially because like I feel like that's literally the perfect like pandemic pastime. Like A, you're getting vitamin D. B, there's
Yeah.
no way to be close to anybody at all.
Partly close
C,
to that
like
rough,
salt
but
waters and salt water is like what you use to clean shit. Like, like
yeah.
saline, like, you get a piercing when you're like a punk teenager, you get your ears pierced, your nose pierced. You got to clean all that shit with like saline, like
Yeah.
salt water. Like,
Salt water, yeah, brother. it's
bruh.
like it was a perfect mixture, and they were trying to take that away, bro. And I was like, they better not take away like surfing. Like there's no way they can. So they did as much as take away the beach. Like you couldn't be on the beach for a long period.
Are you guys like? Does everyone surf there? Is that like a thing that I
I would
just
say
think
good.
about, man?
It's a good amount of people surf. Not everyone surfs, but a lot of people. Everyone. I would say everyone goes to the beach. Um, Surfing's a pretty hard sport. So you have like boogie boarders, the people that lie down on the boards with the fins. So you have like boogie boarders, and you have like surfers. So there's a good amount of people in Hawaii that surf. There's a lot. I mean, you know, what I mean, from young, old, all uncles, grandpas to like people pros, like, and then sometimes you'll see pros just paddle right in front of you, like paddle right in the lineup. Like another big name out here is John Florence, the Florence brothers. You can look them up. They're like pro surfers. They live on the North Shore. And it's like whenever I surf the North Shore, sometimes like right around this time, right around that 8:15 in the morning, if I'm in the water, sometimes you'll see a couple pros, especially if it's big, the pros will like come right out next to you. And it's like, holy shit, like that's him. That's the pro right there. And then they start catching the waves, start ripping. And it's like, all right, I think it's time for me to get out because they start owning the waves and whatnot. Yeah. But it's cool to see it.
Yeah, dude. It looks like such a difficult sport, man. I've never even like because I guess the closest well, we actually do have surfing. There's an island right off of the coast here. There's a place called Tofino, and they do surfing. There's a ton of great surfing there, but it's cold, man. Like right now, it's probably
It's
below freezing there for sure.
Yeah, you'd have to wear full body suits. You see, the beauty
Oh
of
yeah.
Hawaii, the beauty of Hawaii is the water is like warm temperature year round, you know? So you can get in the water with just like a surf shorts and a rash guard or a surf shorts, no shirt. But like in the States and like I bet up there as well, you're gonna have a full body suit.
Oh yeah, bro. The only warm water around where I'm at is in your shower, man. That's it. Like
Yeah.
our beaches are like freezing cold water. Dude, there's like glacier water closer than I could find warm water, that's for sure. I could
Wild. It's a total different lifestyle, brother. That's crazy.
I went like we have like we typically like there's usually an event in Vancouver called the Polar Bear Dip on New Year's Day where people all meet up and they jump in the ocean water and it's like freezing cold and people are like it could be snowing out. People will do it like and
Well,
it's
that
like
kind of goes back to like taking cold showers. I don't know if you're on that or like you're familiar with that. Is that I started to like
hell
really
yeah.
implement that. All right, so I started to implement that in my morning routine. Is taking a cold ass shower just to the benefits of it and to wake you up and all that. So I could see the you said they do that polar bear dip on New Year's,
Yeah, yeah. It used to be. It hasn't been for the last couple of years.
right? They used to
Like
have
an
it.
actual like it used to be like a community sanctioned. Like they'd have it on like the news every New Year's Day. It'd be like the polar bear dip downtown, and people would be
That's
jumping
cool.
in the beach in the ocean at downtown. But now I feel like it hasn't happened in the last couple of years. But it definitely is like something that cold showers. I don't like the cold shower, man. I'd rather do a cold plunge, like a cold dip, like go jump in a body of water. I like
Hmm.
nature a little bit more. But I've got a buddy that he was actually on my podcast like a couple weeks back as well, Patrick, and he swears by cold showers. He has one every single day for 5 minutes
Hmm.
minimum. And dude, actually, he actually has COVID right now and posted on his
Uh-huh.
Instagram story him in his cold shower. He's like, I'm doing this to boost my immune system. Like all of the health
Yeah.
benefits. Like he's super into health and
Yeah.
wellness. He's a trainer, and he was just
And
going off the other day in his cold shower, like just his face on his Instagram story. He's like, "I'm sick right now. Like I'm doing this to help myself get better." Like,
there's
have
so
you been
many
doing cold
benefits to it.
showers for a long time?
No, dude. I remember the last couple of weeks. Like I'll like in the nighttime, maybe I'll like if it's hot, I'll take a cold shower, but not purposely for the fact of the benefits. Subconsciously, I probably take a cold shower because it's hot, right? But not knowing that there's all these benefits that you can get from taking cold showers in the morning. Now, 5 minutes minimum is that's discipline. It's rough. Like I'll
Could
turn a
be
cold
two,
shower
but he
on.
is a savage,
Yeah,
dude. He's a
right. I'll turn the cold
savage.
water on. I'll stand there and I'll just like eat it. Like you're just in there. You're just eating it. You're like, okay, it's cold. It's cold. It's cold. Okay, okay, we're good. Okay, we're good, and we get out. So like, I'm trying that now. Have I been consistent with it? Not as much as I'd like to, but I've been doing it, and you do see that wake up feel like. you're wide awake, you know. I gotta Google like the actual benefits of it, but I know it's very beneficial.
Bro, that's like the exact same way I feel about so many things. Like, uh, I've been doing like a ton of like different experiments with like fasting, and people are like
Uh-huh.
asking me like, why are you doing this? I'm like, bro, 100% honest with you. I'm not a doctor. I can't explain all the health benefits,
Yeah,
but I've been feeling good.
right. Yeah. Me personally, I know I've been feeling good. Now, can I name you everything? No, but I'm just taking my word for it that, you know, I know it's good. If you want to know the benefits of it, go Google it yourself. You know,
Well,
do the research.
dude, and there's so many things like that in life where it's like, yo, I'm not gonna do the like honestly, like I do my research, man. Trust me. I talk, but the thing
Yeah.
is, I typically have friends that know things that are smarter than me. So I just ask them about, how should I go about this? Like, say for like exercise or like working out. When I went in the gym, like, bro, I hired a trainer and I got educated, or when I was playing sports in high school, our strength and conditioning for rugby, like you have someone teach you how to do it, but you don't have to know all the benefits. You just have to fucking do the things that you
Gotta do
know.
it.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't
Gotta
have to have a
fucking do it.
doctor explain to me about like eating
Yeah.
healthy or taking cold showers or getting up early. Like I can just become the practitioner, and that's what I like about what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Like it's like, I'm just gonna run with these cold showers, man. I'm gonna be the practitioner. I'll let you know the benefits, bro. In a couple months, I'm gonna
Right.
do it for a while.
Yeah, that's it exactly. I feel like that's kind of like been me the whole life. Is like I'm just gonna run with it, you know. And whether win or lose, I'm never losing. I'm just learning. You know, I'm gonna run with it. You know, I'm gonna see it through. I'm gonna start something. I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna see it through and keep going. And I'm gonna learn from this experience, and then we're gonna move on to the next once this experience is over, right? Or so I don't know all the benefits of cold showers, but I know that it wakes your ass up and it gets you moving and there's all types of other benefits that resets your body and this and that. Like, I'm not a doctor, I can't tell you it, but you got Google on your hands, go Google it.
I
you
love
know,
that, man.
so yeah, yeah,
I
man.
love that, bro. Did you just say this, or did I just think this while you were saying? Did you just say win or learn? Did you just say that, or did I
Yeah,
think
I
that
just
while you
said that.
said that?
I said it. I said it. I was like, you win or learn. So like it's like whether you win or lose, you're always learning. You know, in any experience in life, just see it through. You don't have to know everything. Just get started, and you never lose. You're gonna win or you're gonna learn. You know, it's the mindset of it. It's like, oh, I don't want to lose, or I don't want to, I don't want to feel, rejection, or I don't want to feel this, and that. Like, stop being a bee about it and just do it. And again, you're either gonna win or you're gonna learn. Take the experiences from that situation or experience and apply it to your future lesson. You know?
Hell yeah, man. Dude, that's like one of my favorite sayings ever. Like there was so many times where I'm like a sore loser, bro. Like I'm one of those
Oh,
people
me
like
too.
I'm a
I am
sore
too, bro.
fucking loser, bro.
You have this conversation with my wife, she'll say the same thing, bro. You're a sore loser. And I'm like, no, I'm not. But yes, you are. I'm like, all right, maybe a little.
Yeah, I'm like I was one of those kids like growing up, like bro, if I lost, I had a million reasons why. Like it's like, bro, the weather was fucked up. My shoes were untied. The stars weren't aligned.
Yeah. No, it's
Like,
funny,
like,
bro.
but
Yeah.
but but then I realized, bro, like what you're saying is like look back at those losses and like learn from it. Like it's like, what can you do
Mhm.
next time so you have to make fucking dumb excuses and you can actually look cool instead of pretending to look cool.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally
Dude.
understand, bro. Yeah, you're right on that. Like, I think a lot of people need to learn that nowadays is that the fear of loss, so they don't take action. Fuck it, take action. If you lose, you lose. So what? Move on. Now mind you, don't take action and lose like, a couple hundred grand or something, whatever that is. But like, you don't need to you don't need to know the end result before you start. And I feel like nowadays with society and like the kids growing up is like they want to know everything through, especially in the fitness, going back to the fitness world, is that like a lot of fitness people, they want to, okay, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? It's like, you don't need to know all of that. Let's just start, and we're gonna go, and you're gonna figure it out, and you're gonna learn as you go.
Yeah. And again, like I've got like my background has always been like in athletics, like sports have always been like kind of where my head's at, or just like kind of being around sports, like weight training or just running, like kind of being active. Like that's kind of always been my background. But now that my mindset has shifted a lot more into like not just physical health, but mental health, like we have like I run like a WhatsApp group. We do Zoom calls every Saturday about like kind of like it's a community based around like mental health and self-development. Like we just talk about these types of conversations, like literally like this. And there's a lot of people in there that don't really have like the same fitness background. They're not really like sure, so they want to get more into fitness. And like that's like similar to what I start telling them is like just fucking move every day. Like it doesn't matter what you do, like just move every day. If you feel better, do those things more. Like, you know, like start with a
There's
walk,
no,
start with a
yeah,
jog, start with a
start a
run.
walk, yeah, something small. Yeah, start with something small. And um, another thing is like with social media out there, like there's no excuse. You could look on Instagram and look up fitness, look up beginner workouts, park workouts, and then you could save all that content to an album in your Instagram and then just look up those workouts when it comes time to. So for the fact of the matter of like, oh, I don't know what to do, well, that's not necessarily that you it's like you're not hungry enough to go figure out what to do. You got to get to that point. But yeah, just move. Just go for a walk. Start small. Just get the small wins. Go for a walk and build that consistency of a walk. And then from there, you're going to get more energy. More energy is going to lead to you wanting to do more. So your walk's going to turn into a run. Once you start running, you're going to get more energy again. And then now you're going to, okay, what's next? What now? Maybe throw in body squats, throw in this and that. But a lot of that times it's like they get so overwhelmed with having to know the process all the way through that wanting to know is really what shuts them down, and that
Yeah.
prevents them from moving forward.
Yeah. It's like paralysis by analysis. Or
Yes, there you
is that
go.
how it goes? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they just get the paralysis of just knowing, okay, and then when they know it, and then now it's like overwhelming for them. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna do all of that, overwhelming for them, and they don't start. Sometimes it's better that you don't know and just start.
Yeah, 100%. I feel that for sure, man. And even like relating back to like what you were saying about like just go on social media, go on YouTube. Like I remember when I first, so like literally as this pandemic started, I was like one of those gym bros. That was where my fitness was at. I had stopped playing
Mhm.
sports and I was like more into bodybuilding. I was like a gym bro. So like my cardio was like Stairmaster or like, stationary bike. But then when the gym shut down, I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to start like challenging myself more. And like I was like,
Mhm.
at the time I was even like smoking darts. Like I said, I had to stop smoking cigarettes. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna get back into running, bro. I remember the first time, literally the first time I tried running, I was like less than 10 minutes in, and I'm like literally throwing up. My knees were fucking aching, my ankles
Yeah,
hurt, dude. Like, and I
back
remember
hurts,
going
everything
home
hurts.
that day. Oh yeah, bro. And like ab cramps, like you get those cramps right in here. And I remember
Yeah,
going home, man, and I'm like, man, I used to be an athlete. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is such a
right.
joke. And I'm like sitting there eating my oats after my first unsuccessful run. And I'm like, all right, bro, like back to basics, dude. I'm obviously like you were saying it earlier, but like that's how I looked at it. I was like, I'm a little bitch right now. Like, I jump on YouTube and I'm like, how to run. Like, I need to figure this out, man. Like, just how to run. Like, cause there's like, for me, it was like, no one ever, like I played sports growing up and like in rugby, you're running the whole time. Like, but no one like taught me like the proper form or how to breathe when you're running or little things like that.
Mhm.
Like, it's like, dude, I didn't learn this till I'm 25, 26. Like, it's like, what the
Mhm.
fuck, man? Like, it's
Yeah,
such a, it was such a humbling experience, but you're right. Like the first step was like, before any of that, it was like lacing up my shoes as someone that came from like, you know, quitting smoking like 20 cigarettes a day to like, all right, I'm gonna strap my shoes on and just try this out. And now I'm throwing up in a bush because I just tried running. Like that's where I
yeah.
had to get to before I start Googling how to run, how to breathe when I run.
And sometimes it gets worse before it gets better, but you got to just stay true to it, and you just got to keep pushing through it and having the faith, because in any journey, especially something like that, when you're quitting and you're going into fitness, it's never going to be easy. And sometimes people with today's world is such instant success, right? Instant cup of noodle, instant health makeover, instant this, instant, instant
Abs
that,
in
and then they
5 minutes.
right, abs in 5 minutes, and it's such an instant world that when someone starts something and they don't get the immediate results, they feel like, okay, either on to the next or they just quit, right? So having that drive, and I guess you could say if your coach or if you're mentoring somebody is painting that picture, that's going to be hard. It's definitely going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it.
That's beautiful, man. Why I
You
gotta
should
be
start a running.
honest.
You should
What's
start a group.
that,
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You should start a running group. Like in your area. Just an
bruh?
idea to bounce it off you, because you have your WhatsApp group right there with your mental health group and whatnot. But now creating hey Mark, let's run a brand around that.
Gang,
Maybe a
dude, that'd
brand
be
around
wicked.
that. And just throw out a video. If anybody in this general area gives you opportunity to meet other people and funnel them into your WhatsApp group, and now you're bringing more positivity to the community. Now you become a beacon of light in your community, because now you're giving the opportunity to be transparent, to show the vulnerability in yourself, that I'm just getting started running, and I know that I have a hard time. Let's have a hard time together. I'm sure people would, like, I always thought, maybe I'll start that this year, because I always said I was going to start a book club, like a book club, just a reading book club. Like, we'll just get together, we'll pick a book and we'll read, something like that. I always said I was going to start the football academy, and finally I did, and just going. So that's just an idea. Maybe start like a running group
Bro,
near
maybe
you.
we might have to start a book club together. I was thinking about doing that. We could do an international book club, bro.
Dude, yeah, let's bounce ideas later. But yeah, for sure. I'm
That'd be
open for that.
gangster. That'd be so
I'd be open
sick
for
too.
that.
I love that, man. It's so sick because I like that sense of community, that community vibe that you kind of offer as well. Like that's so dope. And I feel like, yeah, that's definitely something that, and I was actually thinking, I was like, yo, I gotta attract savages, bro. Like I think I want to organize a marathon. I think that's what I want to do, bro. Cause
Yeah.
I just
Right.
on Christmas Eve, bro, I literally just strapped up my shoes, bro. It was snowing out. I just ran a like I turn on like an app on my phone, track my running,
Yeah. What
and
app do you use?
I use Strava. No
Okay.
plug. They
Maybe
don't
I'll.
pay me,
Oh yeah. No
but
pay. No. Yeah. Exactly. I don't get paid by. Look up Under Armour. Map my run. I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe it's a and that app right there. We can. It's like a social network app too, in the sense of like we can become friends on it, and then like I'll get an update when you run, or for friends you get an update when I complete. Because when you complete a run, it like lets your community know, and then sometimes like people that are friends with, I'll get a bing. John Smith did 1.5 miles, and I see that I'm like, ooh, like I get motivated sometimes. Like, oh,
I'm gonna get
this guy
it.
got to
Like,
run it. Yeah, like I
bruh,
gotta
yeah, yeah,
run it.
yeah.
Like so maybe I don't know if that I don't know if the app that you use has that, but if it doesn't, take a look at Map My Run by Under Armour. It's free. There are like paid advertisements, but again, this is not a plug. But I
Yeah,
just
it's the
use a
same
free
thing.
thing.
It's pretty similar actually. It's pretty similar.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
Strava one that I use is like yeah, you can use it for bike rides, for runs, walks,
Walks,
swim,
bikes. Yeah. Yeah.
hike. But I only ever use I do bike sometimes, but I do use it for running and it's just like yeah.
Right.
But the reason I brought it up is like on Christmas Eve, bro, I ran a marathon just around my city. Like I literally just ran like I don't know how many miles that is. I think it's 42.1 something kilometers. So I think that's probably like 21 miles or something like that.
About
A
there.
marathon
Yeah,
is
it's
it's a
about there.
marathon,
A
a standard
marathon's
marathon.
marathon's like 25, 26 miles, but fuck, you ran 21 miles on Christmas Eve, bro. So dude,
In the snow, bro. So
in the
that's what I'm thinking,
snow,
man. We got
dude.
to organize a
Right.
marathon. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking, man.
Yeah.
Just a group of savages. Cause like, dude, think about how many sporting events are shut down. And that's what I like about your football camp is like, yo, fuck it. We'll just run our own, man.
Yeah, run your own. Like, do I have a license in sports therapy or all that kind of stuff? No. But like with my experiences through football, and that's why you've been seeing me like put football highlights up on my stories and slowly pushing it out there. I just created the Quick Feet Academy page on Instagram as well. And I started uploading more content last night on that. But yeah, just started. Like, why not? What's the worst? You know what I mean? In that sense of like you're creating a community hub and you're becoming, again, like I said earlier, a beacon of light for your community.
That's huge, man. And that's like, that's one of the last things I guess we can chat about is even just being
Yeah.
like that beacon of light for your community because like, excuse me, I just think like, a lot of the things that we've kind of chatted about is like, just like kind of all of these different things, like how you can improve like your own life or your community or etc. But
Yeah.
and I made a post the other day on Instagram, and I was like, some of y'all want to change the world, but you bitch about having to change a flat tire and you can't change your own habits.
Right.
Like I think that that's such a huge thing. Like we were talking about earlier, like kind of some complaints we have about society. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the time everyone wants to kind of make a change. They're well, and that's even putting it politely, because at the end of the day, people just like to bitch. They like to complain, right? But then
Yeah.
they'd love to change everything outside of their world. They're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
my life would be perfect if, these people would let me do this. Or if,
Right.
I like a lot of people like where I live, they're like, oh, I'd love to go and work out outside, but it's fucking snowing outside. Like, trust me, bro, not a lot of people around this area are as gung-ho about it as I am, right? Like, they're like, dude, I would love to go running outside, but it's snowy out, or it's raining out, it's cold out, it's wet.
And that's the beautiful thing about you, brother. I mean to cut you off, my bad. But the beautiful thing about you is that you're not letting the snow be an excuse. Like there's so many variables out there that people let be an excuse. Don't don't let it be an excuse. Let it be the reason why. It's snowing outside, so that's the reason why I'm gonna go run, because I know that it's gonna be a harder run. It's gonna push me harder. It's gonna create more discipline. Yeah, it's snowing outside. I'm gonna go run. The other day it was pouring rain. I created that the New Year's. It was a reel. It was Christmas. It was New Year's Eve. I created a reel and I was running, and I don't know if you've seen that reel, if it's on my page, but yeah, like I could have let the rain be a reason why I didn't run, but I said, you know what? Let it be the reason why I'm gonna run. So I love that about you, bro. It's snowing. Most people would just say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and sleep." But no, you're like, "Nope, I gotta get it." And it does nothing. There's no compensation you're getting out of it. You're doing it for purely for the fact of your health, and you want to get it done. And I love that.
Well, not even just that, but it's like, and I gotta say before I reply, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. But it means a lot. But it's like I just have this idea, and I don't know if you've thought about this or if you've like kind of put this into words before, but you're doing the same thing that I'm trying to do, which is like, look, if you want to improve the situation you're in, if you want to improve your community, society around you as a whole, if you want to just improve your life or your friend group, like it starts with like kind of improving yourself, right? Like it starts with just kind of like, okay, maybe, if I feel dumb, I have to sit down and read a little bit more. If I feel like I'm, lazy, maybe I got to fucking move some more. If I feel like I'm broke, then maybe I got to get my money up. Maybe I got to spend a little bit less. Like it's like kind of just about like, instead of like, you know, again, another thing that people around here are quick to bitch about is like the housing market or the economy. Like it's like, well, then go get your money up, man. How about
Yep.
you make
Yep.
these affordable
Right.
products, or how about you make a
Right.
program that makes society better? Like it's like kind of like we are so quick to kind of get mad about our circumstances, but we do so little to kind of change them.
Right. So little to find a solution. Right. Okay. So that bothers you. You're up all night because you can't pay the bills. You can't get this done because the weather's like this. All right. So what? Okay. Okay. You complained about it. That's fine. What are you gonna do now? That's what's the difference. What are you gonna do now? You're gonna keep complaining about it? Are you gonna just feed that negative thought into your mind, or are you gonna get up and take action? I'm a firm believer in just taking action, because in any taking action, you're gonna get some type of result. And again, win or learn. So don't complain about it. Yeah, you can complain about it for a second. It's okay to complain about it for a second, but don't keep complaining about it. I don't want that energy around me. I don't want that. You don't keep complaining. Don't talk to me, bro. I don't want that. I don't want that victim mentality. I don't want that. You go have your victim pity party over there. When you're ready to talk or ready to do, then come back. So that's like for me. Like my circle is small, just because again, there is a lot of that. Like how you were saying, is that people are quick to just bitch about things and not find a solution. It's like, bro, find a solution. Stop complaining. Find a solution.
Yeah, yeah. I used to have a boss that used to say that all the time. He'd be like, some people look for problems and some people look for solutions, and the people that find
Mm-hmm.
solutions make money. And that's like
Mm-hmm.
basically the way he explained it.
Yeah, dude, and that's so right on. I like that. Some people look for problems, some people look for solutions. Simple and simple.
Beautiful, man. I think that, dude, I think that that's kind of like a beautiful place to wrap this up, man. I love
Mm-hmm.
that, man. I don't know. I don't know if you've seen like a full interview or full episode of like the podcast
Not
here,
yet, I'll
but
be honest. Yeah.
no, it's all good, bro. But the
Yeah.
reason
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
say that is I do my own intros, bro. I don't do my own outros. So that's gonna be your
Okay.
responsibility today.
Okay. Put me on the spot. Okay.
Yeah,
All
bro.
right. Well, all right.
Yeah.
Well, let me just send in my
Hold
face
up.
and just get this.
Hold up. I gotta say, thank you so much for your time today, bro. Thank you for being you, man. And thank you for doing everything you do on social media. Like I like obviously it helps out your branding and it helps out your kind of your businesses, but I think it helps out people as well. Like just seeing the positive messages you share alone, those are motivating, those are uplifting, and they're funny, man. You're built for that platform, bro. But I also I like that you're kind of displaying your grind. Like that's the other thing I like to when I see your page, like I like that, people are seeing like, okay, he's got kids, so he's hustling, he's grinding, he's not using that as an excuse, but he's like moving through like different businesses from like a full-time job to trying to start a side hustle to trying to start another side hustle to trying to start another side hustle. Like this guy's out there getting some. And I think that that's a dope thing to share because I'm sure you've had people kind of reach out to you the same way I've had some people reach out to me where it's like, how do you keep going? Like your schedule looks so fucking busy. So I gotta say, man, thanks not only for your time today, but thanks for sharing everything that you do, like not just the beautiful stuff, but the grind as well, like on social media, because I think that that's what a lot of people need to see, man. So before we jump off, I wanted to say thanks. And then the way the outros work here, bro, is you just got to give people like plug yourself, let people know where they can find you, what your social media tags are, but also just leave people with like an uplifting message, a motivating message, something to kind of get them through a tough day or just kind of get their day started, whatever it could be. But yeah, tell people where they could find you, bro, and lift their spirits a bit, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Again, I just want to start that off. I thank you right back for having me. It was my pleasure. Even though I woke up at 5:30, 6 a.m. to get on this, I was so stoked, and I actually couldn't sleep last night, to be honest. Like I couldn't sleep because I was like excited for this, So I hope to be on again. Let's do this, every other week, or let's do something and let's just chop it up and just keep talking about how we can improve our communities. Let's do that. Let's the book club. Sometimes us as boys or friends, we talk about like we're gonna do something, but we never do it. Hey, we're gonna hang out, but we never do. I'm a believer in like if we're like let's say it and let's do it. So let's bounce ideas later off of that because I'm so stoked for that. An international book club would be awesome. Just plugging in, guys. If you guys are on Facebook or if you guys are on Instagram, again, at Yo, that's Josh. That's YOOTHATS, Josh, JOSH. Yo, that's Josh. You can find everything on there. If you guys are interested in seeing more about my kids' youth camp, all one word, Quick Feet Academy _. That's it on Instagram. Quick Feet Academy _. There's no websites or anything right now. Again, I'm just purely launching and we'll figure it out as you go. I came outside because I just kind of wanted to show you guys like I don't know how to take this stuff off, but backgrounds and filters, let's go. None. All right, so I got here. Beauty, right? Like I'm in my backyard, beautiful like skies, the sun's back there. If I could leave you guys with anything, is that with everything that's going on in the world today, it's easy to lose track of what you're grateful for, you're thankful for. So if I could leave you guys with something is find gratitude. Where you find gratitude, you're going to find motivation. When you find gratitude and motivation, you're going to find action. And it's your choice now to take that action, right? Don't be a victim, have gratitude, be safe out there. And guys, love you all. Thank you guys all for having me. Mark, again, I'm going to cut that as the outro. Hope that was good, brother. And let's do this again. And yeah, man, thank you, brother. And that's it, man. My name's Josh. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you so much, brother. That's a perfect outro. Much love and peace out, everybody. Thank you so much.